Hey guys, welcome to Guided Highlighted Reading Poetry. I'm going to teach you a couple things during this one. First of all, got my poem pulled up here. This is The Summer Stars, the first one on there. We're going to be doing one thing before we get going into the highlighting portion, and that is I'm going to talk about rhyme scheme. Okay? So rhyme scheme is really simple. What I want you to do is I want to take your highlighter, or you can also underline, and I just want you to do that with the final word of each piece, okay? Because right now, this is the only thing that matters for rhyme scheme. None of the rest of the letters, doesn't matter if there's rhyme, not rhyme, doesn't matter how they start, those do not affect rhyme scheme. So rhyme scheme, we just go through and we put a letter for each one. I want you to write this down or type this. I'm just gonna talk and point to make it easier for all of you, but you have the word stars. No matter what, you always start off with the letter A every single time. This one's a little bit difficult because it says the same letter again. I do not consider repetition rhyme, so I'd probably go B. Stars, once again, same one, so C. We also say it's A because it's the same finish to each one. Bowl, new one. Stars, we're back. Strumming, so you can either have A, B, A, C, C, or A, B, C, D, E, F, F. Either way, because there's not a consistent pattern, this would be not a rhyme scheme at all, which is called free verse rhyme scheme. Okay? So we're gonna do the same thing with the next one. We say, you want to highlight your last words, okay, etc., all the way down. Cornflakes would be an A. Dish, does dish rhyme with cornflakes? No, it's a B. Does noon rhyme with dish? No. Does noon rhyme with cornflakes? No. C. Spoon rhymes with noon. C. Swish rhymes with dish. So we write the same letter that was here, which is B. Sifter, does it rhyme with any of these? No. We do a new letter, and so on and so forth. Once you get to the bottom, you look back and say, okay, we have snow slow with shakes and flakes in the middle. You do the same thing with spoon. So what that is called, it's called an enclosed rhyme scheme, or ABBA. Okay, there are only 4 types of rhyme scheme you have to know. The first one's super simple and easy. That is free verse. That means there is no consistent rhyme pattern. The second is enclosed, what we talked about. That would be A, B, B, A, or something close to that, because I know there is a couple ones that kind of feel like they throw you off in this one. There's also alternate, which is the most common style rhyme scheme. That's A, B, A, B. And the last one is called couplet, and that's A, B, B, can be CC, etc., etc. Okay? So those are rhyme schemes. Now we're going to go down. Let's take a peek at the questions first. So there's 2 questions for Summer Stars. It says, which best describes the mood? All right, so we go up here. We're going to highlight for mood words. What are words that pop out to you that affect the way you feel? So I see, we have lazy. Probably want to use a different color for this one to avoid the mix up with the other thing, huh? There we go. And then we have night, summer, and maybe strumming. These are all words that really pop out to me. It could be a little bit different for you. Either way, what do these words all have in common with in concerns to mood? So let's look and see the choices here. We have spiteful, peaceful, joyful, regretful. So we know it's not spiteful, because that's a word with a lot of anger. We know it's not regretful. So I have to decide between those two. So do you think humstrumming and lazy better fit with joyful or peaceful? Better fits with this one. We have proof in the highlighting. We know that this is the correct answer. Next one. In Summer Stars, what is the author trying to show? So you go back up and look and say, okay, what's it trying to show about the summer stars? And you have this line here in the middle. So near a long arm man can pick off stars, okay? And that stands out because that and the following line are the two biggest figurative language pieces in the entire thing. So near a long arm man can pick up the stars and pick off what he wants from the sky bowl. So, with that in mind, we return down to the bottom. Take a look at our options. Stars in the summer seem very close to Earth. Stars are, excuse me, I'm moving my formatting palette. Stars are less vivid than winter stars. Creates a mood of gloom and mystery. Emphasize the connection between December and the weather. Well, this one doesn't even have anything to do with it. So we know that if you can, so close you can reach out and touch it, it means it's very close. So stars in the summer seem very close to Earth. Bam, done, good to go. What is the effect of the author's use of metaphor December leaves? In December, what comparison, December leaves, what comparison is made? So let's go ahead and take a look at December leaves. We already did our rhyme scheme. Next, let's just read it out loud one time. The fallen leaves are cornflakes that fill the lawn's wide dish, and night and noon the wind's a spoon that stirs them with a swish. The sky's a silver sifter, a sifting white and slow, that gently shakes on crisp brown flakes the sugar known as snow. Okay, first question. In December leaves, what comparison is made? So let's look for comparisons. What are words that show us comparisons? Okay, the fallen leaves are cornflakes. It's our first comparison, right? Because unless you think that you'd like to have some nice crunchy leaves for breakfast. The wind's a spoon. The sky is a silver sifter. Okay, the sugar known as snow. There's all of our comparisons. Then we have to decide which one fits best here. All right, fallen leaves on a lawn to a wide dish. That doesn't really make sense. Day and night to the stirring of a spoon. I'm not talking about day or night, right? Snow falling out of the sky to crisp cornflakes, or snow falling on leaves to sugar falling on crisp cornflakes. So these are very close. So we have to really think about how to hash it out. So is the snow actually falling on cornflakes? Let's double check, right? The fallen leaves are the cornflakes, so the snow is falling on the fallen leaves, meaning our answer is D. Okay. Last question. I'm sorry, I think I skipped one. What is the effect of the author's use of metaphor in December leaves? Gives the poem a somber, formal tone, lets the reader relate the poem subject to familiar activity. Some stars are closer to Earth than others, or a night of summer stars like a man with long arms. So D goes to the first poem, doesn't even make sense. Some stars are closer to Earth than others, that also goes to the first poem. So that's why you have to be really careful about looking at the question and what it's asking, so be sure to look for those titles. And then it lets the reader relate the poem subject to a familiar activity. We're talking about the cornflakes and the sugar, just like we talked about in the follow-up question. So that makes perfect sense, so we know that B is the correct answer. Last one. What do both authors most likely want readers to feel after reading their poems? Okay, so it says nature is more interesting when there's bad weather. The power of nature should be feared and respected. The seasons are alike in many ways. There's comfort, wonder, and beauty in nature. So if we go back and we look at what we've highlighted so far, sky is a silver sifter, sugar known as snow, wind's a spoon, so near a long arm man can pick out the stars, lazy hum-strumming, that doesn't show us fear, right? So that doesn't make any sense. So we want to make sure we get rid of that one right away. It's more interesting when there's bad weather. Well, is a light snow, like you're pouring sugar on cornflakes, is that bad weather? Not really. So we go to, the seasons are alike in many ways. Are they comparing the two seasons? No, there's no comparison between seasons. There's the metaphor between the cereal and the snow, but no season comparison. There's comfort, wonder, and beauty in nature. And relating to an activity that you know very well. And lazily laying about looking at the stars. Those are both very wondrous, comforting things. So we know the answer must be D. So that's your final one right there. Okay. I also want you to do one more thing for me. I want you to go through and practice highlighting the poetic devices that you understand best. This is just your first practice with this. We're going to continue to work on that, and I'm going to clarify some things. I know that like consonants can be very difficult for a lot of people, but it's good to start to get that practice, so please do that. At the very least on the follow-up activity for this. But that is all I have for you this morning. So I hope that you have an absolutely wonderful day and a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.